Welcome to the Inner Space Covent Garden talk. Our talk today is Whose Script Are You Living? Are you ready to rethink the game of life? How do you approach life? Is it that life is random happenings? Is it a game? Are we all playing our parts in a bigger story? Who's written the script? Can it be rewritten? What if the struggle isn't in the story, but in forgetting the player behind the role, the part? What if we see this life not as a burden, but as something beautiful to experience, appreciate, and play? In this talk, we'll be exploring how to, firstly, step back from the noise and re-examine the script we're living by. And then secondly, rethink the game of life and play with the awareness of joy. It's quite something. So today I'm absolutely delighted to introduce our speaker, Dr. Prashant Kakoday. Prashant has a background in surgery and integrated health, specifically interested in the relationship between the psyche and our emotions. He's spoken on these subjects in many countries and institutions, including the World Health Organization. Prashant's going to be sharing with us for the next 40 minutes or so, and then he'll do a very short guided meditation. After that, he'll be taking your questions. So please send in your questions via the question and answer link or via the chat, and I'll put those questions to Prashant on your behalf. Prashant, welcome and thank you. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you very much. And very, very interesting subject, and subject that interests me more than and many other subjects, the game, and also the aspect of the script. You want to know that there is a script, and which means this is a theater. That itself is quite fascinating. I want to say that any entertaining activities in our life, like sport is one example. There is a primary world where your parents are, your world is, and then you go into 1 hour of the play, and it becomes a completely different reality for 1 hour. We can call it secondary world. And when it is like this, then you enjoy the play. It becomes an enjoyable activity. And all our so-called enjoyable activities, they are secondary realities. Like, for example, you watch a drama and then there is a performance, but you got your own world and then you go. You go on holidays, you got your primary world and then you go into. So this is what we see here, and what the spiritual model tells us, that this physical world that we see here, this itself is a secondary world, and that we got our primary world. What has happened in our present thinking and our drop in consciousness, the secondary world, which is like we said, like a drama and whatever, a game, that has become the primary for us with a drop of consciousness. And when you make the secondary world into the primary, that is not the best primary. Primary world provides us, the stability. And this world is not stable. You can't enjoy it when it is unpredictable and there are ugly sisters in the script and there are dragons in the script. You can't enjoy. To enjoy the script, we first have to step back, come into our primary world. So this subject will go into some details, and I'm going to use some slides, and with the help, what we are really going to do here is see how our brain giving us a message, and so we'll come to the presentation. In case you are trying to escape from this presentation mode, sorry about this, but it will be just a short, but it is an entertaining presentation and not lots of words but images. That's what people from the academic world say. These presentations, they are enjoyable, and entertaining. So here, let me see if we can change. Can you all see this, or what is happening?
Yes, we can see it.
Can you see along with that other things also? This may be better. Is that right?
That's wonderful. Thank you.
Perfect. So here we are trying to understand the brain and what is it telling us about the play and script. In the last 70 years, lots and lots of research is done on brain. Brain is most intriguing thing, but some simple thing that we all know about brain. We got these two hemispheres, right and the left. Yeah. And these two hemispheres, they perform very, very different functions. Yeah. So it like what we are seeing here, the left side of the brain, more like science, language, mathematics, analysis, this kind of functions. And the right side, seeing the big map, bigger picture, holistic thought, intuition, creativity, faces, it means recognizing, faces. You meet a friend after 20 years, you recognize him, so during this, the right side of the brain is in action and seeing the patterns, understanding the patterns. Now, what we are questioning here, what is the common factor on the left and what is the common factor on the right? Normally, I like to hear your answers, but today time is short, and so we will go a bit at a faster pace. In computer language, one can say left side functions, they are like serial processing. Language, one sentence followed by the next sentence, followed by the next sentence. Mathematics, you take one step and then based on that, you go to the next step and then the next step. So that is what you will see in logic and in right brain functions, it is called parallel processing. Things happen in a second. You get an idea, great idea. It happens in a second. You recognize someone's face in a second. So it is called parallel processing. Another way to say this is one side deals with expansion, other side deals with essence. Now, these two sides two hemispheres are like two wings of a bird. And a bird needs both wings to fly. If just one wing is strong and the other wing is weak, he cannot fly. He can flap around but cannot fly. In the same way, for us, to achieve excellence, we need both sides balanced, strong. Our education system at present is not balanced. If you are good in mathematics, science, language, analysis, then politics, then you will be considered a scholar. If you are not good in this, then you might not get admission even in the university. So this is the system in many places, many countries. But let me give you some good examples here. This is Newton, and his handwritten notes are there in the Trinity College library. And sometimes our friends who are doing different research, they have access to these notes, and they tell what he's writing, what is his handwritten notes. And lots of spiritual aspects are in his handwritten notes, including cyclical nature of time. And here is a man who achieves excellence in science. There are many in the world of science, but not many who achieve excellence. This is another considered to be father of modern science, and Einstein. And you see here, he is playing violin. But if you go into his life, you will see the balance there. This is his statement: science without religion is lame. Like many might say, religion is like a right brain kind of function. You are not looking for evidence and all. You enjoy some concept and rituals and so what is this? It is, some might say, I am a scientist, I don't deal with religion. And Einstein, father of modern science, says science without religion is lame. He also says religion without science is blind. Now, big question: when in our lives are we naturally balanced? If you have access to answer now, you are very welcome to answer. I want to hear. A normal person in his 50 years, 100 years of life living, when is he balanced? Do you, okay, we are not talking each and everyone. Is there a time when we are balanced? That is a question. Some people say when we are asleep, but we are talking about waking state. Is it possible for others to answer, or should we move on?
Just in the chat.
Chat, yeah, that's fine.
So a few have come back.
I can't read, but anyone.
Okay, so a lot of people are saying childhood or at birth. Some are saying when we're asleep, when we are content or at peace, when we're happy. Some people are saying during the day it's one thing, and later it's something else. Somebody's asking only in meditation. So those are the responses.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, appreciate your attempt. Now here we are seeing that when we play, that is the time we are most balanced. What happens when we are playing? let us say here we say no talk, no, so we had enough of these slides and presentations, and we say we are going to play for the next 30 minutes. And we are going to make two teams and we're going to play a game. What will be your immediate response? You say, yeah, I like it, and your right brain, she is now thinking it will be fun for the next half an hour. And it really doesn't matter whether you will win or lose. You can accept victory and life beyond the game. We said the right brain deals with holistic thinking. The bigger map, bigger life. The primary world. You understand this. And you say it is not serious. Next hour, it is you are a bit, you can enjoy it. And you love those who are playing against you. There's lightness. Now, the left side kicks in and he goes to play and he wants to win and he wants to he has a high goals. He wants to score as many as possible and he uses past experience. As was said, left deals with expansion and goes into all the details and he's competing using skills and he says this is serious. And this is very interesting for us. Right side says it is not serious. You can win, lose, nothing matters. And the same person at the same time says it is serious. And in all these functions, you will see there is a paradox. One side is very light about everything. It says, oh, it's just a game. But the left side is very serious to win. He works hard and follows the rules. So what we saw during this time is that we are seeing a paradox within ourselves. Same person. It sometimes in neurophysiology it is said two persons in one, or we are two brained beings. So there are two people. There are different thinking, but they are at the same time one. But this is the way we are made, and that is when you get a game. That is when there is a play. If it was just right side, it will be not a play. It will be work. Just left side, it will be something different. But when it is both, it becomes a play. Now let us take an example. This is Wimbledon center court. Anyway, you might recognize this player, but this was not recent Wimbledon. This is 24 years ago. And those who remember this game, that he was nervous. He was in the finals and he was nervous. And here is a good example. Here is one who has got skills. And how come suddenly he cannot serve? He was losing each serve. And he himself said he was nervous. Everyone could see he was nervous. Now, all along, he's saying it is a game, it is fun, it is a play. And when he's having that attitude, it's a fun, right side is active, and left side can do the other function of using the skills. So both wings are working. When he reaches the finals, now the right side is saying, this is not fun. This is finals. Now all along it was fun, but now it is finals. So it is not fun. So right brain is now paralyzed. Right wing is paralyzed. And when you can't use the right wing, you can't use the left wing either. you can't fly. And then you flap around. So you can't use the skills that he already got. And that's why he has to say, I could hardly lift my arm. Now here is another example. Here is a pavement. It appears to be, Cambridge, but you might have some parks like these, similar trees. But it is not Cambridge. It is just one random photograph. It is 2 meters broad and let us say 100 meters long. And a strict precondition for us, we should stay on that pavement, not go on the green, not cross. Very strict. We all will be able to do this, to walk 100 meters, to ride a bicycle, and you can run also. You got skills. We all can do this. Now, here is the similar pavement connecting two mountains. It is also 2 meters broad. It is 100 meters long. No railings on the side because there are no railings in the other pavement either. Will you be able to run, walk, ride a bicycle? You got skills. And I should say, down below there are some crocodiles in that valley. Now, what is happening? And at the moment you are telling yourself, this is not fun. Right side is paralyzed and you can't use the left wing. Even though you got skills, you can't use it. At present, our society, we are not balanced. And as a result, we are leading a handicapped life, handicapped at many levels. It also means it is possible for us to win back that, our original. To win back, and what will happen if we win back? We will achieve experience our excellence in life. One who is strong on the right side. I'm talking here of in life. We said, in life we have, if we can make this the secondary reality, that is all it is, and then we will actually be performing better. It is not running away from the world, but you will be performing better in the world. One who is very strong on the right side, right wing is strong. And here is shown. What will he do in life? He will say, he say your town, your city, in this case, let us say London. He will say, let us make London the best city, ideal city in the world. He will have a vision about what can be done. But most important, those who are balanced, they go for high goals. So let us make the city the best city. And then he will think along those lines. There will be others who will come with other ideas and other talents and skills and expertise. And the resources will come. And he may end up having the best city, in the country. It is possible he might not get any cooperation. From the first day, there is people throw stones at him for thinking about this strange idea. He is playing a game. He doesn't get disturbed by the failure. He plays the next round. Game is like this. Game, you are not into panic, about failure, and that's why he plays the game. So he says, okay, this is not the place, and maybe let me go to another city. They choose, let us try in Bristol, or let us try in Aberdeen. So and he may try 3-4 places. One place it wins, and he ends up getting the best city in the world. But he enjoys the process also. Game means he enjoys the process. He learns. One place he loses, one place he wins. One who is strong on the right side, he will say, let me introduce myself to some people because I got something very precious. I want to. He introduces himself to people. One who is not strong on the right side, he says, I better not do this because I might fail. So he has failed even before he started. He says, I better not start a company because I might fail. So those who are balanced, they end up contributing to the society in a new way. Those who are not balanced, they, as was said, they have failed even before they have started. We'll be happy if you got any questions, comments on this. Now the real question for us is how? How do we go to this balance? And how do we make the right side strong? And as was said at the beginning, we need to see the primary. The spiritual model tells us that what we are seeing here is a secondary reality. It is not a primary world. We are not from here. We are visiting here. And what is shown in this sketch, the blue box, is representing this entire physical world. And he says, this is not our world. What is said in the scriptures? In scriptures, there's I'm talking here Bible. We are not of this world, we are in this world. We are on this planet, we are not from this planet. And it's the same is the true here for him, the one who is seeing this model. He says, I am visitor on this planet, but his world is beyond. And as he starts playing with this, he discovers his world more. He has time to explore that world. He discovers his existence, that the existence of this reality, which is timeless, changeless, endless. And when you have discovered that your world is endless and predictable, so there is no, that is a perfect primary world. Primary world is one that should provide us security. That is our absolute need to know that we survive and our world survives secure. You got a base. No other primary world is truly secure as this. But within our limits, we know there is a home, there is a place, your country, and then you can play a game for 1 hour. That 1 hour you can see it as fun and secondary world. But even your primary world is really not as secure. In this case, you discover the absolute security of the primary. You discover your world is world that is eternal. You yourselves are immortal. And having discovered this, now you are coming into this physical world. You are not coming into the physical world with a begging bowl. In this world, you don't need anything. You are secure. That frees you completely from that lower personality. In that lower personality, it is hardwired for a victim mentality and a beggar mentality. He constantly wants something, and he feels he he won't be safe without needing something. You give him what he wants, you give him 3 times more, and he still wants something more. So that is the lower personality of constant insecurity that forces him to do this. But in this personality, he is never a beggar, never a victim. Many things happen, but never a beggar, never a victim. He knows his primary world. And now in the secondary world, he's there to play the game. Life is going on. It is not a game he needs some tennis court and then there's a game. For him, this life itself is a game. It is a different game altogether. Just like games are of different kind. You have computer games and virtual games. There are some complete civilization within the game, and you take a avatar and play a game. Different. You learn the rules of the game on the field and get on. So also here, for him, the attitude is here is in a game, and every moment is a gift. Every moment is enjoyable, and everything that is happening, it is part of this fun. That is the way he sees it. When you are playing a game, say you are playing football, someone is blocking you, someone is pulling you, someone is pushing you. You solve the situation in split second. You are not complaining there. You are not even stopping. Why are you pushing? No, you are solving that situation within seconds. And you got a destination, you go, and you may get scratched at the end of it, and you may mm, be exhausted, but you say you had a great time. Same happens here. And when you are in this game, you you are most balanced, as was said. You are the one who deals with all the situations. You have to take a decision also. You have to move on, and you got a destination. You play to win, but you also know how to fall. You also know how to start again. You know to fail, and you know to enjoy. And that is the healthy attitude of the person. We said right at the beginning, when we are in that the personality, you have loving feelings. Those who are playing against you, you have full acceptance. You love them. So also here, one who is having this balanced attitude, he never really gets into dislike and hatred. It is part of the script, part of the game. Will you enjoy a Cinderella performance, in one of the theaters in London? But in this particular performance, there is no ugly sister, just Cinderella. Will you enjoy that? Will Cinderella enjoy acting as Cinderella, in that drama? So the whole drama makes it richer. One who is in this bigger map, one who has the balanced attitude, holistic thought, capable of grasping the big map, he sees the drama, he sees the game, and he can see the bigger, and that's why he enjoys it. One who is in the lower consciousness, that is where ego comes in, he cannot see the drama as a drama. That is the problem. He is lost inside. He's seeing the details and details, gone into that, and lost the sense of the bigger map. Just like, say, if there is an insect seated on a car, you got some best car and can do amazing different functions, and this insect is seated on the car. He will be noticing some sticky junk on that car. He is not aware that there is a car there. To understand it is a car, you need to step back. You need to see the bigger map. And then you know something different altogether. That is exactly what happens here. In this higher consciousness, you are stepping back and you are able to step back and you are able to see the car properly as a car. That's why you enjoy. That's when you can enjoy this whole physical world as a theater, as a drama. You can see it as a game. You can see it as a holiday. And that we are just passing through this experience. And we come back to our primary world. Nicely described in spiritual writings, one who is awake to this higher reality, he wins the sky, he also wins the earth. So he experiences that wonder of that reality beyond, but he also enjoys this world. He's not running away from it. He's not renunciate in that sense. He renunciates the confusion of the ego, but he enjoys this world in a new way. He enjoys this world as a game as a game, and takes benefit from the bigger map. The one who is in a lower consciousness, he loses the sky. It doesn't even exist for him, but he also loses the earth. If you are in a theater and if you don't even know it is a game, don't even know it is a play, and don't even know that it is meant to be like that, then he has lost the earth also. We have the option to be balanced. And what was mentioned so far is how easy it is to come in that experience. And let us hear some thoughts. I don't know how much time we have, and we're happy to hear.
You have a few minutes and then the meditation, and then we'll do questions if that's okay.
I'd like to tell a short story. And in this story, one eagle comes to a farm, pig farm, and he meets with this insect that was on the back of a pig. And he asked the insect, "Do you want to come to the sky with me? Do you want to be an eagle?" And so this insect says, "Sky? What is that sky?" And the eagle says, "I will take you beyond the clouds. You will see the sun. I will show you the valleys and the mountains and the trees, animals. You will see all this. I'll show you all this. You will then also see this pig. I will bring you back to this pig. You will see the pig properly. So this insect says, that's amazing, but I have found this land. Land is a little patch of mud he has found. And this is such a central location that I don't want to lose this land. But if you come in a week's time, then I will be ready. I'm busy building fence and putting notices. So the eagle comes again a week later. Sky, do you want to come? Sky. And this insect says, no, I found more land right now. Exciting time. These policies are helping me. So you come again, next week. That time I will be ready. So the eagle comes again next week later. To the sky. So he says, now I got some cracks in my land. I'm busy fixing the cracks and I myself need help here. How can I just drop it and go to the sky? So I'm not coming to the sky. Now the story tells us what is happening in each one of us. There is this lower consciousness. This is the situation with all humans. And lower consciousness has got its own life. It is busy. For example, the insect, it is busy. It has got life. It has got excitements and progress and success and some sticky sugar that is a big find. But there is no comparison between the life of the eagle and life of the insect. The human race, we have the option to shift to a different level. Discover the eagle, discover the sky. And as was said, you win the sky, you also win the earth. Happy to
Thank you.
hear. Is it time for
The meditation, please.
So in this practice, let us use our spiritual sight. We all have it, and we have the option to use it. And during this time, two things. One is we are not going to do multitasking if possible. And secondly, we don't go into analysis. There is time for analysis, but in this, when we are coming into experience, then we don't analyze. In a second, we are having this new perspective, seeing this big map. And in the big map, we see the whole physical world as a story. Aware that there is the real world beyond the story. So what is happening right now? Here, right now, Prashant talking and it is online meeting. This is also happening in the story. And what happened today, it all happened in the story. We are seeing the richness of the story. So many things, so many plots, such variety. Theater based on a story. And there is a script of some kind. And one script is as good as any other because it is a secondary world. It is not my story, it is not anyone's story, it is a story. Story doesn't belong to anybody. When we are dealing with a story, there is nothing to complain. There is nothing to complain about, nothing to worry about. We don't create ego when we are dealing with a story. You may be acting as a king and don't create an ego. We see it as a story, 100% during this minute. The spiritual side helps us to see it as a story. How we come beyond the story. And beyond the story is the real world. Beyond the story is the world of silence. There is no noise of the story. We see this in the image of a sky. Expanse of light. This world is timeless, exists forever. And in this world is the true self. This is the home of everyone. That story is never the home of anyone. This is the home of the true self. This environment helps the true self to become conscious. And when conscious, for him it is normal to be immortal. It is normal to belong to that eternal sky. Normal to be like a invisible presence. Normal to be the invisible player. Normal to see his complete independence from the story. He is not part of that story. He is completely separate. Happy to come in the story, happy to come in that game, play, but also happy to live. He is completely separate and independent from the story. He remains the invisible observer of the whole story and the game. He may be the player, but he remains secure. He knows of his world beyond. Invisible soul is the invisible player. He is the invisible observer. He is the invisible traveler. He is also the invisible actor in this great game. He silently knows he is very lucky. He knows everyone is lucky. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was quite a journey you took us on in the meditation. It was very, very comforting. A few questions have come in. The first one I'd like to put to you is, what might be the cause or reasoning why we don't develop a very successful right side brain in childhood, and why it continues to be a struggle well into adulthood?
Yeah, at present time, whether in some civilizations, it is right side. Some civilizations, it is left side. Western world may be predominantly left brain dominant, but whether in some cultures it may be right brain, but still it is imbalanced. And we all need to move to that higher consciousness. Like a male are more right or left brain dominant, females are gravitating towards right brain. But whole world is imbalanced at the moment, and we have lost that higher option. That secondary world has become our primary world. That's a huge loss. As was said, then you lose the sky, you also lose the earth. That's what has happened to us.
Is there any easy steps I can take to achieve this higher awareness again?
Yes, of course. We value every minute. And by that, I mean, even 1 minute, you experiment with this. One is to understand. This is like the sketch that you got in front of you. Even if you draw something like this and keep it in your room, just it stretches our intellect. That is necessary to see the bigger map and to be able to see that this is our reality. We not just be the insect in the farm, but as a sky. We need to see that sky and experiment with the wings. And more we do that, every minute we are using for this, it helps. Just like someone plays any game, cricket or football, every day he practices it, he gets better. Something similar here. To value 1 minute, you may not get 1 hour to create time for something like this in the beginning, but anyone can create 1 minute. 1 minute of quality. But in time, you might feel that the priorities might change and you will create more time.
Thank you. I love it. I love the idea of just focusing for 1 minute on this. I think that's a possibility for sure. So thank you. At the beginning, you spoke about Cinderella and the story of Cinderella and whether we would enjoy it if we only had Cinderella and not the ugly sisters. The stories that we tell ourselves, and stories like this, are stories that we do get emotionally involved in. But they also are lessons for our moral compass, because nobody wants to be the ugly sister, or nobody sets out to be the ugly sister. And yet, from my understanding in your talk, you've talked about not getting emotionally involved. Wouldn't that leave us just clinically detached, or am I missing an understanding on how to interact with the story without getting emotionally involved?
Yeah. You know what happens is when we are in this lower consciousness, we are losing the reality altogether. We are losing the primary world. It is almost like someone is playing the game. It happens in computer games. Someone is playing the computer games and he is disconnected from his family and his world and his work, and sometimes himself even. He doesn't even take care of the body, and he's very excited with the computer game that he's playing. He is getting success there. But these people have to be sent to the psychiatrist, and they need to be treated from that problem because they are disconnected. It is not a rich life. It is an imbalanced life and it is an abnormal life. This is exactly what has happened to us. We don't know what we have lost at all level, a level of the heart as well as the head. And when we reconnect, life becomes richer. You don't lose anything. You just come out of these lower excitements. That is all you have lost. Like the insect is excited about sticky sugar and some little things that you have lost, but you discover the world of the eagle. It is like that. One philosopher says you just lose, some sinful pleasures, but you win something different.
The last question I'd like to put to you is this higher awareness that you've been talking about, or how could you explain to us, is there steps within the higher awareness, or because you talked about different dimensions, or can you express it so that I have a better understanding of it, that I can almost see it and then work towards it?
Sure. There are, of course, steps in this, and since it is experiential, it takes time. But even what we have spoken today, and I'm sure there will be recording of it, just taking it up and creating time with concentration. Some simple things that you find you can relate to. A few lines even, but creating time, go in the depth of that experience. And we saw earlier that one thing pulls you down. Many people are pulled into this big farm. And once you open the door for the sky, that becomes another pull. And once you get the experience of it, you discover more and you want to know more about it, it becomes a pull. And that will itself guide us to the next level. But there are more details. We may not have enough time in today's discussion.
Prashant, that has been a really joyous talk, actually. I love the idea of the play and being able to be playful. But being playful means that you don't get caught up. You can actually be fully present, completely present. So that's been such an insight. So thank you for that. And that if we're not playing, we're actually harming ourselves and harming our happiness. So quite an insight. Thank you very, very much for the talk, but also the meditation. I I haven't experienced a meditation quite like that in a while, so thank you very, very much.